Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I'm Catherine Vaquero, a member of the worship team here at 1U. With me in today's service are our minister, through the magic of technology, Reverend Margalie, Belizaire, worship associate, Melissa Baker, director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, Judith Stein-Farrall, our music director, Aubrey, Connelly-Candelario, Jacob Hike on drums, with members of the Chalice Choir helping lead our hymns. We also have our chalice lighter, Elias, our official artist-in-resident, Leisha Matias, and board member, Joy Dickinson. And let's not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background working diligently to ensure that we come together this morning. They did special work this morning. So thank you. Thank you. Our children will be sung out today after Time for All Ages portion of the service. We greet you this morning, old friends and new ones, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. In this community, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. We have a few special announcements today. To go with today's theme, the second and last budget forum will be at noon in Classroom B. From Religious Enrichment, we are looking for our summer crop of volunteers to help out with classes for our kids. The commitment is 1 Sunday out of 10 we are filling. A plan for the class can be provided for you, and all you have to do is show up and have fun with the kids. Or if you have a special craft or skill, you may bring that skill and teach it in the classroom. Consider crochet or hip-hop dance or juggling. There are links in the weekly update with details and to let Judith know when you are available and what you think is the right class for you. Or you can fill out a paper form in Gar Hall. Reach out to Judith if you have any questions. Join us in Gore Hall for today's social hour hosted by the Dreamers School of Orlando. They are providing some refreshments as a thank you for the use of our Enrichment Center this year. Stop by to meet Kathleen and Candy. Are they here? Yay, they're here. And learn more about their hybrid enrichment, Waldorf-inspired homeschool program. On Friday, May 22nd at 1 p.m., History Happens Here. Along with the UU Friendship Fellowship of Brevard, we will formally ordain Dr. Laura McGuire. They say ordaining a minister is like helping an angel get their wings. So come and be the wind that helps Dr. Laura's ministry take flight. Join us for a beautiful ceremony of spirit, song, and new beginnings, and then stay for a cake reception. And then join us next Sunday when we welcome a guest to our pulpit, Iman Hatim Amendullah, as we fill our cup of curiosity through wholehearted connection. And now we have a word from Beth Tura.
Thank you. Good morning, my name is Beth Tura, and I'm on the Board of Trustees, and I'm going to wing this. So I'm here this morning to recruit you. I am the volunteer precinct coordinator for 1U, and 1U participates in this Adopt a Precinct program. It's a way that groups like 1U, the Elks Club, Rotary, sororities, fraternities, They're able to staff a precinct, and the money earned they can give to their respective nonprofit. Volunteers I need for the August primary, August 18th. I need a couple of people. And then we'll talk about the general election in November. You have to be 18 years old, reside in, and be a voter, registered voter of Orange County. So if you have any questions, or you want to find out or sign up or whatever, I'm going to be over in Gore Hall, so after the service. So meet me over there, and I'll give you the 411. Hope to see some of you at the primary in the poll. Thanks.
Our order of service can be accessed via the QR code up on the screen. A link to the events calendar is at the bottom of the order of service. Please click on it to view what's going on at 1U. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. And now we will do our chalice lighting. I would like to invite Elias up to help me. Elias is 8 years old, and get this, he wants to make the world a better place someday. Now, please join me in saying our beloved chalice lighting words as Elias lights the chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Now, please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 121, We'll Build a Land. The words will be projected on the screen.
Good morning. It is really good to be with you this morning. All thanks to the ingenuity of human beings, including the ones in tech back there in the back of the sanctuary. Thank you so much for making this possible. Special thanks to Fluffy. I come to you from Montgomery, Alabama, where I participated in a day of action to mobilize for voting rights yesterday. I could not not be here answering this call, and I also needed to be with you today. So here we are, together, sharing sacred space. I am excited to continue our exploration of May's theme, Awakening Curiosity, and today we engage in one of our Talk About Bruno series, and we're going to talk about money. Let us begin with the words of Reverend Tess Baumberger. We gather as a community of spiritual seekers, always ready to awaken each other's curiosity. In this beautiful, challenging, and complex world, may we enter our worship together with open minds, warm hearts, and spirits entranced with possibility of healing, of hope, of transformation, of justice. So come, beloveds, let us worship together. And let us begin by greeting one another. If you're joining online for the first time, please say so in the comments. And if you're joining us for the first time or even the third time in person, please stand or raise your hand to be recognized, because we really want to give you a warm welcome. And now let's move about and greet one another.
It's such a delight to see everybody here and to get to greet you this morning. Now is the time for all ages, and we are calling our youth and young at heart to the carpet to await Judith's arrival. Come join us, young ones.
Welcome, welcome. Come on up. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. Thanks for coming up, and thanks for all being here. Come on up. Gosh, a lot of smiling faces. This is lovely to see. Oh, and some toys to keep us busy. That's very nice. Let's see those smiles. Oh, gosh, this is making my day. All right. Well, now that we're all here together, we're going to be talking about some things that are very important. And, who's this? What are you doing here?
Hey, I'm Judith.
No, what are you doing here? Who are you?
I'm Judith. I'm the director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment here.
How do I know that?
Oh, wait, I've got my name badge. Here's my name badge.
Why aren't you wearing it?
It's kind of broken. I need to get it fixed.
We need to know who you are before you.
I'm Judith Stein-Farrall. I'm the director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment here.
Okay, some identification, please.
Here's my license. Judith Stein-Farrall.
That's not the name on here. This is expired.
Well, okay, so I need to go get it renewed. Oh, I better get it renewed. I need to go vote. I gotta get it renewed. And it is my name. It just doesn't have the hyphen Stein-Farrall on it, but it's my name.
Well, do you know somebody here who can vouch for you?
Well, I'm the director. How do you know? Do y'all know who I am? Oh, thank goodness. All right.
Well, I think we're going to let you in.
Oh, thank you, because I have the right to be here. My name is Judith. I'm the Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment here at First Unitarian Church in Orlando. And I'm a white woman with some privilege, right? That is unexpected and would not likely happen to me. Can you imagine what it might be like to be stopped from doing something you know you have the right to do? Yeah. I don't have that problem. But Reverend Margalie has been up in Montgomery and Selma this weekend defending the rights of y'all, standing up to the right for all people to vote, but particularly people with black and brown skin, because there are some people in this country that are trying to dismantle that right. So what I'm here today to do, although I was going to talk about money, is to tell you that your minister is doing something really hard, because y'all need to know that someone's speaking up for you. And that is the entirety of my less than 5-minute time for all ages. And I would like you all to join us in the classrooms. So if I could have you all form a loving arch as we march out to our classrooms to talk about money in the classrooms this Sunday.
I invite you to take a deep breath. And remember that what we do here is sacred work. As you can see clearly, this morning's service is unfolding a little differently. You're gathered there in the sanctuary while I am joining you from Selma, Alabama. Actually, to be more specific, right now I am in Montgomery, Alabama, connected across distance, screens, wires, and spirit. That feels appropriate for today's service because this morning we continue our We Talk About Bruno worship series, the series in which we intentionally explore the difficult topics people often avoid, whisper about, or carry privately. And today's topic may be one of the biggest Brunos of them all, money. Money touches nearly every part of our lives, and yet many of us struggle to talk about it honestly. We talk around it, we joke about it, we quietly worry about it at 3 o'clock in the morning, but rarely do we gather in community to ask deeper questions about what money means, what it makes possible, what fears it carries, and how it shapes our relationships with ourselves and with one another. Our monthly theme is awakening curiosity, and perhaps part of awakening curiosity is becoming willing to examine the things we have been taught not to discuss openly, to ask where our beliefs about money come from, to notice the shame, fear, pride, longing, gratitude, or anxiety attached to it. Our yearly theme, Meeting the Moment, reminds us that this conversation matters because money is never just personal. It shapes communities, justice movements, survival, opportunity, and dignity, which is part of why I am joining you this morning from Montgomery, where clergy and organizers gathered in support of voting rights. A few weeks ago, I spoke about flourishing where we are planted locally. But I also said there are moments when solidarity calls us beyond ourselves, moments when we lend our bodies, voices, presence, and yes, resources to something larger than our individual lives. This weekend is one of those moments. So this morning, from sanctuary to street, from Orlando to Selma, let us enter worship together with curiosity, openness, and curiosity about one of the most powerful and complicated forces shaping our lives. So, take another deep breath. And arrive fully, and let us be curious together.
Good morning. I'm Joy, a member of the Board of Trustees, and I'm here for a minute briefly to talk where we talk about money every week in the service, because each week we make space to collect an offering. So this is a time when we pass a basket to you to collect a financial donation. We do this not simply to invite you to practice generosity and to be in the habit of giving, but also to intentionally and plainly remind you that your giving is necessary for One You to exist and thrive, and for us to continue sharing the good news of Unitarian Universalism with the world. In the words of Kristen Collins, a Unitarian writer, we give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with the faith that together we have enough. Today's full collection will go to the ministries of this congregation. Our Share the Plate recipient for the months of May and June is the Orlando Day Nursery and Child Care. Should you choose to make a direct donation to our partner, please let us know for recording purposes. Note that you can also give online or use your phone to scan the QR code found in the pew back pocket to donate through Zephy. Please note that when you donate through Zephy, you can change the service fee at checkout to $0. The offering will now be collected. We joyfully receive what's offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
We make space each week to share our joys and sorrows. The places of lightness and heaviness are in our lives. We do this not only to express what is in our own hearts, but to remind one another that no one journeys alone. If you have a joy that you need, if you have a sorrow you need witness or help with, or a joy you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read each Sunday during this part of the service. You can email us during the week at joysandsorrows@orlandou.org. If you're attending in person, you can fill out a card at the registration table and hand it to one of our wonderful greeters and welcomers, and they make sure it is received at the pulpit and we share it with the rest of the congregation. And we also participate in a candle lighting ritual. So, always bring your joys and your sorrows as we come together. Come just as you are, because your whole self is welcome in this sacred space we are creating together.
Today's flowers are a beautiful arrangement provided by Linda Pianteri, dedicated to the memory of those we've loved and lost. I have a joy that I must begin with, which is Jade Deaver lost her first tooth today. And as of this morning, her pet caterpillars are now beautiful butterflies. Wow, Jade, that's awesome. What a great day. We have another joy from Bite. Bite is joyful. He has been able to divest himself of all the material distractions that fracture spiritual alignment and integration. All the best to you on that journey, Bite. From Andy Harrell, I just had an appendectomy on Monday. Please send healing energy. Andy, we are all holding you in the healing light of love. And Reverend Margalie shared with me also that there is a quote in the New York Times today from our president of the Unitarian Universalist Association. I'm just going to read the quote that's in the article. "We gather on this day in mourning, in lamentation, in outrage, and in deep, profound love." The Reverend Sophia Betancourt, the president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, said from the pulpit of Tabernacle Baptist Church in Selma, where the day-long event began, "We gather in the knowledge that we must rise up and say, never again." And now a sorrow from Emmy Collins. "My youngest sister suffered a massive stroke on May 2nd and died on May 10th. Please hold our family in your hearts with all your love and compassion. And please see Catherine Vaccaro during coffee hour if you have questions. We hold the fears and sorrows of all affected by brutality from war, threats, natural disasters, and other situations that are beyond their control. We hold our communities, both near and far, and our country with care, and the world with our compassion, by acting for justice in all of the small and large ways that will move the arc of the universe toward justice. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community shared today, and for those held close to our hearts, let's pray, let's celebrate, and send each other healing energy. And now there's another announcement from Reverend Margalie.
Actually, it is to invite you into one of our practices, today we light a candle in remembrance of lifelong member of 1U, Diane Silkwood, who died 2 nights ago this past Friday. Di has been in a nursing home for several years. I've had a few conversations with her, but our primary contact with her consistently has been Patty Reynolds. Thank you, Patty, for your accompaniment. Di's son, Eric, is considering having a memorial service in the very near future at 1U. We will update you as we have more information.
Start with candle lighting? Okay, yeah. Let us now move into our traditional 3 candle lighting. Let us light one for joy, one for sorrow, and one for the mystery and unknown that lies before us. May these flames hold all that we bring into this circle of care. And then join me in the responsive reading on the screen. This first candle is for all the joys in our hearts, for the beauty and wonder of this world that holds us. We give thanks for the joys that brighten our lives. The second candle is for the sad and difficult happenings in our lives, for grief over the losses we have borne. Let this flame remind us that we need not carry them alone. We hold one another in compassion and care. The third candle is for all that remains unknown, a flame of mystery and possibility. We open our hearts to mystery and to hope. Together, these 3 flames, joy, sorrow, and mystery, burn as one. Let them remind us that whatever we bring into the circle of care, we are held in a greater light, and we do not journey alone. May it be so.
And I now invite us into prayer. If you could sit as comfortably as you can, or position yourself as you do in moments such as these. Many of us carry a burden of worry, anxiety over the state of the world, worries about money, about our environment, our families, about peace and justice. May we trust that nothing will get worse for us putting that burden down for a moment. May we let go of what weighs us down. May we find that we can set down worry for longer and longer periods. In our experience of letting go, may we be open to the possibility that we need not pick up our worries back up. May we find passion and strength to work for change where we have the power to do so, and to let go where we do not. If not forever, let's put down any worries or anxiety for our time of quiet. And let's sit in the silence for a few seconds.
Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life
Thank you for having me as your official artist in residence. This poem was inspired by my muse, who continuously inspires me with his generosity in heart, body, time, treasure, and spirit. The title of my poem is Generous. My muse once told me, no one ever regrets being generous. Generous is love, and love is endless. Look around right now at this beautiful sanctuary and this campus. Everything you touch is the result of someone being generous. Don't you want your heart to look like this? To live in this abundance pouring forth from your chest? It doesn't just come from your planning or lacking or having just enough. It comes from your trust. It comes from your love. When I say love is generous, take this line from Corinthians. Love is patient. Love is kind. Yes, love takes time to dry your eyes. Never envious, never chore, never brags nor keeps a score, and leaves you breathless, smiling at the magic of being alive. Yes, love is kind, love is effortless, love is generous. So give. Give without reservation, expectation, or obligation. Let your whole self be a vessel for the cosmos' imagination to fill. Give because a heart full of generosity brings a world of possibility. Give until you see all the no's you've ever known were gifts of redirection, were guides, and those barriers you put in your minds were meant to fall and laugh like the spring buttercups tickling the nose of the newborn calf. Give until you see all your farewells and grief, your sorrows and your strife weren't taking away but adding to the depth and tenderness of life. Give until your cup runneth over, like a February's promise of azaleas and clover. Give until every part of you is free and released, until every heart in you can breathe, until you're everything you were created to be. Give until you let go of all your laws, letting your only desire be for love. My muse once told me, no one ever regrets being generous. Generous is love, and love is endless.
We don't talk about Bruno, and we definitely don't talk about money. I mean, not really. We talk around it, we joke about it, we complain about not having enough of it, we quietly envy people who seem to have more of it. We panic over it privately, we dream about it publicly. We spiritualize it, we demonize it, we avoid it, but rarely sit together in community and ask, what is money actually doing in our lives? What stories have shaped our relationship to it? What fears, what longings, what wounds? And perhaps most importantly for people of faith, what does our relationship with money reveal about what we truly trust? our monthly theme of awakening curiosity, and I can think of few topics that require more curiosity and less judgment than money, because money is never just about money. It is about security, survival, freedom, status, fear, desire, shame, power, possibility. And our yearly theme, Meeting the Moment, reminds us that we are living in a time when conversations about money are unavoidable. Housing costs are soaring, retirement feels uncertain, debt weighs heavily on many people, economic inequality grows wider by the day. Billionaires ride rockets into space while working people struggle to afford groceries. And still, even now, many of us would rather talk about sex, politics, or death than discuss our finances honestly. You know the line, money is the root of all evil. It's from the Bible, 1 Timothy to be exact, 1 Timothy 6, verse 9. Except that is not what the text says. The passage actually reads, the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. That changes things quite a bit. First, it does not say money itself is evil. Second, it does not say money is the root of all evils. It says the love of money can lead to all kinds of evils. In other words, money is a tool. Powerful, yes. Dangerous sometimes, yes. But morally neutral in itself. Money can build hospitals, and money can fund hate groups. Money can feed children, and money can exploit workers. Money can support justice movements, and money can buy silence. Money reveals and amplifies values already present in us. And I wonder if part of the reason so many people struggle to talk about money is because somewhere along the way, many of us absorb the idea that wanting money, having money, or talking about money somehow makes us shallow or morally suspect, especially in religious spaces. And yet, avoiding this conversation has not made us healthier, it has made us quieter, maybe. So I'll start with my own relationship with money, which is a little complicated. In my early years, very, very young, living in Haiti, I lived in financial comfort. My mother's side of the family were commercial farmers and were considered wealthy. My father's side struggled financially, but we lived with my mother's family. We had cooks, maids. My siblings and I had no chores. There was plenty of food, stability, land, comfort. So I didn't grow up afraid of money. I was probably oblivious to it, actually. Then immigration changed everything. My father did not want to rely on my grandfather's wealth, so we came to the United States. And suddenly my parents were working incredibly hard while still struggling to make ends meet. The contrast was jarring. One world disappeared and another emerged almost overnight. Like many immigrant families, there was this tension, right? Gratitude for opportunity mixed with grief for what was lost. As an adult, I've generally lived comfortably. I've had jobs that allowed me not to worry much about money. And if I'm being honest, I've often been somewhat lackadaisical about it. I enjoy talking about money. I like budgets. I like what money makes possible. I like generosity, beautiful experiences, and not constantly having to worry about bills. And as I get older, this is shifting also. these days I think more about retirement, aging, security, and whether there will actually be enough someday. And suddenly money feels more theoretical for me, because no matter how spiritual we are, no matter how enlightened we imagine ourselves to be, most of us still want safety. We want dignity. We want to know that when our bodies slow down, we will not become burdens or be abandoned. And money sits right at the intersection of all those fears. And our culture feeds on those fears. We live surrounded by messages telling us we are not enough, not successful enough, not attractive enough, not productive enough, not wealthy enough. Cecilia Miller writes, "We live in the land of not enough." Capitalism survives by convincing us that fulfillment is always one purchase away. One more outfit, one bigger house, one better vacation, one upgraded version of ourselves. And yet, if consumption actually satisfied the human soul, Americans would be among the happiest people on earth. Instead, many of us are exhausted, anxious, lonely, overworked, and deeply in debt. Because though money can buy comfort, convenience, and pleasure, it cannot buy meaning. And still, we need not overcorrect and romanticize poverty either. There is nothing holy about not being able to pay rent. There is nothing spiritually superior about hunger. Financial insecurity creates enormous stress and suffering. And sometimes religious communities speak about money in ways that unintentionally shame people for simply wanting stability. And we know that stability is important. The immigrant parent working 2 jobs to give their children opportunities understand this. The single mother understands this. The retiree staring at medical bills understands this. Money matters because people matter. And perhaps curiosity asks us to stop flattening this conversation into simply moral categories, right? Money is not salvation, but money is also not damnation. Money is simply power. The question is, though, to what end? The OJs understood this in their song, For the Love of Money, the one we heard right before I started the sermon. The song is not anti-money. It is not, but it is anti what money can do to us when it becomes ultimate. It says, people will steal from their mother. People will rob their own brother. Not because money itself corrupted them magically, but because they surrendered themselves to greed, fear, and accumulation without limit. And we see this everywhere. Corporations destroying ecosystems for profit, politicians bought by donors, families torn apart over inheritance, workers exploited while executives receive bonuses larger than entire neighborhoods will earn in a lifetime. And the opposite is also true. People using money to care for aging parents, to fund mutual aid networks, to support churches, schools, shelters, and justice movements, to send nieces and nephews to college, to help friends survive emergencies. Money magnifies intention. This brings us to stewardship and connects to Lisa Marie's poem. Stewardship is not fundamentally about institutional survival. At its best, stewardship is a spiritual question. What do we believe is worth sustaining? What future are we willing to invest in? The truth of it is that every budget is a moral document. Our own personal budgets reveal our priorities. So do national budgets, right? We see what we are funding nationally. So do church budgets. So perhaps meeting this moment means becoming more intentional about how we use what we have. Bonnie Lott writes beautifully about realizing that transformation does not happen in the wanting or even the getting, but in the giving. Some of the most meaningful moments of my life have involved generosity, not always or necessarily financial generosity alone, but generosity of spirit, time, energy, attention. And yet financial generosity matters too, because institutions do not survive on good intentions. The civil rights movements required churches. Voting rights movements still required churches, clergy, organizers, buses, meals, meeting spaces, legal support, and people willing to show up. Even this weekend, as many clergies gathered in Selma and Montgomery in support of voting, that witness is made possible because communities pooled resources together and decided that the work mattered. Love without structure struggles to survive. And this is one of the things the religious right has understood very clearly. Values become powerful when they are organized, funded, and sustained collectively. Meanwhile, liberal religious communities like ours often hesitate to speak boldly about money because we fear appearing self-interested or manipulative. But silence has consequences too, because if we do not shape our relationship with money intentionally, the culture will shape it for us. The culture says, accumulate, but the Spirit says, connect. The culture says, protect yourself at all costs. The Spirit says, you belong to one another. The culture says, scarcity. The Spirit whispers, enough. Not abundance in some naive prosperity gospel sense, not pretending inequality and suffering do not exist, but enoughness rooted in interdependence rather than endless accumulation. And that can be difficult work, especially because many of us carry shame around money. Some feel ashamed for not having enough. Others feel ashamed for having more than others. Some feel ashamed of debt. Others ashamed of privilege. Some grew up in scarcity and cling tightly to every dollar. Others spend impulsively because money never felt stable enough. Money carries memory, family memory, cultural memory, immigrant memory, trauma memory, which is why curiosity matters so much here. Instead of judging ourselves immediately, perhaps we begin by asking, what did I learn about money growing up? What fears shape me now? What does security mean to me? What am I actually seeking when I spend? What future am I trying to build? And perhaps the deeper question beneath all of it is this: what would it mean to trust that our worth is not measured by our net worth? Capitalism is very good at turning human beings into economic units, but our faith insists otherwise. You are more than productivity, more than your salary, more than your debt, more than your possessions. And then that is something to be grateful for, because if money alone determined human value, then compassion would mean nothing. Art would mean nothing. Friendship would mean nothing. Love itself would become transactional. But we know better. At least deep down, we know better. And so perhaps the invitation this morning is not to reject money nor worship it, but to become more conscious of our relationship to it, to talk about it honestly, to use it ethically, to share it generously when we can, to prepare responsibly for the future without allowing fear to consume us, to remember that money is a tool and nothing more. And perhaps most importantly, to remember that enoughness is not merely a financial condition, it is also a spiritual one. May we awaken curiosity about the stories it tells in our lives. May we meet this moment with courage rather than shame. And may we become people who use what we have not only to sustain ourselves, but to build a world where more people can live with dignity, safety, beauty, and hope. In the end, the real question is not rather whether money matters, because of course it does. The question is whether money will rule us, or whether love, justice, and community will shape what we do with it. Please rise and body your spirit, and let's sing our closing hymn, Spirit of Life. The words will be projected on the screen. As we leave this space, may we go with a little bit more curiosity about money and the stories we carry about it. May we resist the voices that constantly tell us that we are not enough, we do not have enough, or we will never be enough. May we remember that money is a tool, not a measure of our worth, and may we use it with wisdom, courage, generosity, and care, because meeting this moment will require more than fear and accumulation. It will require communities willing to share resources, sustain one another, and invest in love, justice, and human dignity. And when anxiety about the future rises, we know it will, may we remember this: our deepest security has never been about money, and our deepest security has never been money alone. It has always been one another. Go in peace, go in gratitude, and go now with awakened curiosity about what truly matters. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins. And I want to go back to a previous service that I asked you all to, I invited you all to engage in, and that is spiritual practice. I do believe that the times that we are living in, it is especially important for us Unitarian Universalists to find, if we don't already, find practices that ground us and remind us that we are not in this alone, right? There are forces and people greater than ourselves that we can connect to, and it is especially important for us to practice this because we're not always given the one thing for us to do. So this week, if you have spiritual practices that you have not been engaging, please try to find time to engage at least one. And if you haven't found one yet, may you find a spiritual practice.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry into the world until we are together again.